Students, you are welcome to Odufeso Tajudeen online class. I'm your economics teacher. Today, we shall be talking on shares. Student, we are still discussing on business organization. I want to look at the shares, stock, the ventures, and the differences between these three concepts. They are very, very important. Now, let's take it one after the other. At the end of this class, students, you should be able to define shares, stock, and debentures. You should be able to state two types of shares. You should be able to mention any five differences between the shares and stock. You should be able to differentiate between the stock and debentures, even shares. Good of you. You should be able to mention five types of debentures. Now, let's take it one after the other. What is shares? Shares can be defined as the individual portion, individual contributions, individual money on a particular business, individual portion of a company capital owned by shareholders. By what? Shareholders. It is the interest which a shareholder has, in a company or in a business. We can also explain shares. A share is a unit of capital measured by a sum of money. We can measure the shares, by what? A sum of what? Money. Now, as you can see, the chart is talking about a portion that individual has in a particular company, in a particular business. It is, you can see the hands of the shareholders, using their money to support a particular business in a company. So now let's move to the types of shares. There are two types of shares. We have preference shares and ordinary shares. A preference shares is a type of shares which has priority in terms of dividends payments and repayment of capital in event of winning up. They they have a fixed rate of dividend, of course. They have a fixed rate of what? Of dividend. Ordinary shares can also call equities. What did I say? Ordinary shares are known as what? Equities. The ordinary shares are the real owners of the business. The others are the risk bearers of the business. They are the risk bearers of the business after all other shares have been paid. And of course, these are the two types of shares, preference shares and ordinary shares. Now, let's move to the stocks now. What is stocks? Stocks can be defined as the bundle of shares or a mass of capital which can be transferred in a fractional amount. A unit, you can see, a bundle of shares. Stocks is a bundle of shares, or a mass of capital which can be transferred in a fractional amount in terms of. So we can also describe stocks. Stocks are always fully paid. Stocks are not issued but converted from shares issued. So now let's move to, as you can see the chart, it's also talking about our stock market where people come together to buy shares, as in the stock market, and they use their money to buy bundles of shares in the stock market so that they can, at the end of the day, they can have something. So as you can see them, this is a typical example of a stock market. Then let's move to the differences between shares and stocks. Shares is a unit of capital which can be transferable. A mass of capital under stock is a mass of capital, which is what? Transferable. Okay, a shares is issue. A share is what? Are issue. Stock are converted from shares. Under shares, they are numbered serial. Shares are numbered serially. Under stocks are not number. So shares may be paid little by little, may be paid partly, but stock you pay in what? In full. This is a very, a brief differences between the shares and stocks. So we have the debenture. Debenture, what is debenture? A debenture can be defined as a bond acknowledge a loan, generally under the company's seal and bearing a fixed rate of interest. In other words, we can explain the debenture as a document set out in terms of loan to a company. In terms of loan to a company. And before you can have that, you must have what we call certificate of indebtedness. Okay. Now we have five types of debentures. We have mortgage debentures, we have simple or net debentures, we have secure debentures, we have redeemable debentures and irredeemable debentures. I hope in our next class we will explain this. We are going to explain the types of debenture. Before that, let's quickly explain the differences between debentures and shares. Debentures is a certificate of indebtedness, while shares is a unit of capital. Then debenture is in form of loan. It's in form of loan, but shares are not in form of what? Loan. Debentures holder is a creditor. It's a what? Creditor. While shares holders is one of the owners of the business. Under the debentures, holders receive interest, and of course, while shareholders receive dividends. Then debentures receive interest before profits, while the shares wait for distribution of profit. This is just a brief differences between the debentures and the shares. I hope you understand this concept very well. By now, what is shares? Can you answer that? Oh, beautiful. What is stock? Okay. Can you tell me? Nice. What is the debenture? What is the debenture? Students, can you tell me? Beautiful. Can you state types of the bench of shares? Okay. Mention any five differences between shares and stocks. Beautiful, beautiful. Now let us use our applicants to know maybe you understand the topic or not. Then take this as an assignment, students. Mention any five methods of raising capital. Any five methods of raising capital. You can do that at the back of your note, or you do it and send it to me on my WhatsApp. Student, thank you and God bless you.